Blessed Denis of the Nativity, once known as Pierre Berthelot, was a sailor, a cartographer, and a man who mapped the world's oceans long before he learned to navigate the soul. His story began in France, but it was Goa that gave his life a true direction. Pierre Berthelot was born on 12th December 1600 in Honfleur, a small port in northern France. His father was a shipbuilder. The harbor was his classroom. By his teens, he had already mastered navigation and map making. In his 20s, he became one of the finest pilots and cartographers, serving the Portuguese crown, guiding fleets through the Indian Ocean. His charts were prized for their possession. Copies still survive in European archives. But even with fame and fortune, something in him remained restless. His voyages carried him across Africa, Ceylon, and Arabia until he finally reached Goa, the jewel of Portuguese India. By then, the discalced Carmelites had already been a part of Goa's story for decades. They had arrived in 1619 when Father Leandra de Assunciação founded their first novitiate house. In 1630, the house at Old Goa grew into a full theologate, a center where young friars studied scripture and theology. Within those quiet walls lived men devoted to prayer and simplicity, a contrast to the bustle of the port outside. Pierre, the worldly sailor, found himself drawn to their peace. After years of chasing horizons, he felt God calling him to anchor his life in faith. In 1635, Pierre Berthelot entered the Carmelite monastery of Old Goa, guided by Father Philip of the Most Holy Trinity. There, he gave up his title, wealth, and name, and took a new one, Denis of the Nativity. On 25th December 1636, he made his solemn vows. On 24th August 1638, he was ordained a priest right here in Goa. The same monastery that had trained generations of friars and would later give birth to communities in Margaon was the place where Denis's heart was remade. The man who once guided ships now guided souls, still precise, still disciplined, but now followed a higher compass. Soon after ordination, the governor of Goa, Dom Pedro da Silva, planned a diplomatic mission to the Sultanate of Aceh in northern Sumatra. The Sultan had opened talks of trade and peace, and the Portuguese sent Dom Francisco de Souza de Crasto as ambassador. Father Denis was appointed chaplain and pilot. With him went Brother Redemptus of the Cross, a former soldier turned Carmelite, also formed in Goa's monastery. They sailed from Goa in late 1638, braving monsoon winds, and after about a month they reached Aceh. There, their mission turned into a trial of faith. At that time, Aceh was ruled by Sultan Iskandar Thani Alauddin Mughayyan Shah, a Muslim monarch known for learning and strong rule. His court at Kutaraja, today's Banda Aceh, was famous for Islamic scholarship and international trade. The delegation from Goa, sent by the Portuguese governor as a diplomatic mission to the Sultan of Aceh, was at first received warmly, but suspicion soon grew. The Sultan's advisors accused them of espionage. The delegation was imprisoned. Father Denis and Brother Redemptus was told to renounce their faith and accept Islam. They refused. Father Denis said quietly, My body is in your power, but my soul belongs to God alone. The two friars were beaten, starved, and mocked. Yet each day they prayed, forgiving their captors. In late November 1638, they were led to a place of execution. Brother Redemptus was pierced with arrows. Father Denis knelt beside him, holding a crucifix, blessing his companion. A single sword stroke ended his earthly voyage. Witnesses said he died in peace, as one who already saw heaven. Their bodies were cast into the sea, the same sea that had once carried them from Goa. Months later, word reached Goa. The bells of the Carmelite house in Old Goa tolled softly. Among its friars, two were now martyrs, the proto-martyrs of the Terranian reform, as the Carmelites still call them. For the people of Goa, this was not a distant story. Father Denis and Brother Redemptus had been living among them, prayed among them, had been ordained on Goan soil. Their courage became a living part of Goa's faith. Over 2 centuries later, on 10th June 1900, Pope Leo XIII declared them blessed, honoring their witness. Their feast is kept on the 29th of November. From Unfla to Old Goa and from Goa to Aceh, Blessed Denis of the Nativity lived one great voyage from ambition to faith, from the world to God. Today, if you walk through the quiet lanes of Old Goa, you can still see the ruins of the Carmelite monastery. Within those walls, Blessed Denis of the Nativity once prayed, studied, and prepared for the voyage that would lead him to martyrdom. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If this story inspired you, please like, comment and subscribe, and share this video so that more people can discover the saints and stories of our beautiful Goa. See you in the next one.